Hey everybody, it's on again. I've got this recipe that I am intrigued by. It is called 10-minute skillet bread, and it's a cup of flour. It is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. It's a half a teaspoon of salt, but because I'm using coarse sea salt, they said to make it half, so I'm going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then it says a tablespoon of oil or melted butter, but I'm going to use olive oil. And then 3/4 cups of milk. And it says mix all ingredients into a soft dough, flatten into a thick round, and cook in a covered skillet. Bada bing, bada bang. On low heat. Flip once until golden on both sides. I mean, how cool does that sound? And you know what? I eat my mistakes. If I don't like this, I'm still going to eat it because I got, the real butter and my homemade strawberry jam and homemade peanut butter. So, but I love bread. So, and I'm just going to mix it all up in here with a wooden spoon and then put it in the skillet. And let's just see what we see, huh? Burp. Let's do this thing. Happy Easter Sunday. How perfect. There was exactly 1 cup of flour left in my bin before I add a brand new 5-pound bag of flour. Oh, I'm so stoked. And of course, I'm going to sift it. But as they always say, you add the dry to the wet. So I'm going to put in the milk and the oil and mix that together. And then I'm going to sift in the flour and the baking powder and the salt. Yeah, that's it. So that is 3/4 cups of milk, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and the 1/4 teaspoon of coarse sea salt. And that's 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a cup of flour. And I'm getting ready to sift it in there. And then mix it with a wooden spoon and put it in a skillet. This is too much fun and too easy for it to not turn out. But we'll see what we see, huh? So I Googled what is considered low heat on an electric skillet, and they said between 200 and 250. So I'm going to go for 225. What do you think? Yeah, that is between, right? So 225. Okay, I think we might have a little problem, Houston. It says to form it into a soft dough and flatten it into a round, but 1 cup of flour to 3/4 cups of milk, that's not going to make a soft dough. I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of flour, and I'll just use the little sifter to do it and stir and modify the recipe that way. I knew it was a little bit too good to be true, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more flour in increments to make the soft dough. The measurements are so wrong on this recipe, and boy, oh boy, am I going to comment on that. It's more like 2.5 cups of flour to 3/4 cups of that milk. But this is ready, and I think I'm going to butter the pan just in case. That's one of my boyfriends, just in case and just in time, the two Justins. So there it is. I buttered the pan. I turned it back to 250. I turned it up to 250. And I'm going to cover it and just see what happens. I knew it was too easy. I knew it was too easy and too good to be true. Look at this mess. Oh my gosh. But in for a penny, in for a pound, Once I start something, then I'm determined. But I'll find that on, I think it was on a Facebook reel. And I'll tell them the measurements are BS. It doesn't smell bad. And I turned the heat up to 300 because I don't want to eat anything raw. This is the widest turner that I have. It's not golden brown yet, so they call it 10-minute skillet bread. 10 minutes, my Lanta. But like I said, in for a penny, in for a pound, and the proof is in the pudding. If they hadn't said soft dough and put it into pat it into a round, I would have just poured it in the pan like a big old batter. It's like bread batter. This better be awesome. Dang it. But here's what's cool. Butter, garlic garlic powder, or, cut it in half, and half can be like savory and the other half can be sweet. We'll see. This is flipping hilarious. I haven't even turned it yet and it broke in half. I don't know what it's going to turn out to be like, but I've taken the lid off because it was starting to feel like it was getting cooked on the top but not in the middle. It might be like, I don't know, but I'm eating it, and I made it. Okay, I flipped it. This is golden brown as far as I can tell. But I don't know, it reminds me of something. But yeah, I'm going to eat it. I don't know if I'll like it, but I'm going to eat it. So I'm not thrilled with it being all steamy, but I did take a bite. It's not ghastly, but I want it to cook a little bit longer. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to do this again. I mean, I make bread. I love my bread. But they had me hooked at quick and easy skillet bread. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Nope. No such thing as quick and easy when you're making bread. It's got to be done right. And I mean, how silly am I to not even recognize 1 cup of flour to 3/4 cups of milk? That's not going to be a soft dough. That's going to be bread batter. Probably should have just poured it in there and fried it like a pancake, like a bread pancake. But it's all good in all the hoods. So I'm prepared for the taste testing. So butter, garlic powder, grated Parmesan. And this is not my strawberry jam. This is my free food strawberry preserves, but this is my homemade peanut butter. So we'll see. I'm going to give it, I don't know what time it is. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes because America's Funniest Video is about to come on. So this will be a nice snack for me. I will say this. If I ever make this again, I know what the measurements are, and I'll probably cook it at 350, like right off the bat, and maybe not cook it covered, and treat it like a big tortilla or a big naan bread. See, that's not golden brown yet like this side is. So yeah. But we'll see what we see, won't we? Okay? Because, I mean, this will just break off. Just like that. Bam. A piece with some cheese and garlic powder and butter. And then another piece with some jam. And another piece with some peanut butter. Oh, yeah. I will say, I didn't have to... I mean, I love making my bread. But, the first rise is an hour. And then the second rise in the loaf pan. And then you get out the big convection oven, and I have to unplug everything. So yeah, for the convenience of having some bread or bread tasting stuff, this is pretty cool. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed, but I'm not upset. And it doesn't taste ghastly because I've already broken off a couple pieces to check. Okay, proof is in the pudding. What does that remind you of? I mean, it's something, but I don't know what. So I'm going to do the savory first. The garlic powder, Parmesan, and butter. Give me a minute. Okay, this is butter and garlic powder and Parmesan. I didn't want to do a whole lot of ingredients. I mean, I didn't want to make a big one in case I don't like it. Hold on, here we go. Okay. Okay. Pardon me, smacking my lips. It's almost like a pizza crust. Like a no yeast pizza crust. Like if somebody wanted like a thin crust, this would be it. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. Still eating with food in my mouth. Talking with food in my mouth. Okay. Now for the sweet. This is going to serve for both the peanut butter and the jelly, but I did the jelly, well, preserves, strawberry preserves. Oh, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna put some peanut butter on that. You know, ever since I started making my own stuff, like my own peanut butter and my own bread, what else do I make that I like? I can't think. But anyway, I'm spoiled, but it's a lot of work. Okay, like when I run out of bread, I have to make a loaf, and I only have one loaf pan, so it's like one loaf at a time. Taking a bite. This has been the most traumatizing experience of our lives. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm no longer disappointed and I'm no longer unhappy. I don't like to not have the right information. So if I ever get to where I want some bread and I don't want to make a loaf, I'll probably do this again. But I'll do it my way with, so that it's not that big of a mess and I'll know what I'm doing. Anyway, yay! The proof is in the pudding. Thank you so much for watching. Bon appetit. One more bite. I love my peanut butter. And I love bread. This is like... It's like a bread crust. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. It's like the heel of every bread loaf. If you like the heels, that's what they call them. I like the whole loaf, so it doesn't matter. So yay, and they're all a hit. I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna finish that, and then I'm gonna go watch AFV, America's Funniest Videos, because laughter is the best medicine. Okay, talking with food in my mouth. Thank you so much for watching.